Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got something done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up there in age, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Your future self will hate you if you don't do this by the time you're 25. You see, I've told my friends, I've told family members, I've told everybody that I can ever tell, even my co-workers from when I was 18, 19, and 20. Do you know how many people came up to me and said, Festus, teach me how to invest. Festus, I see your portfolio. Festus, wow, you're making money. Festus, I need to get started. Too many people to count. Too many people that I've extended that olive branch to and they turned it down. Well, that's exactly why I made this YouTube channel. That's exactly why I'm reaching out to you, my subscribers, my followers, my YouTube people, my community, because I want you to gain the knowledge, to gain the experience, to gain the understanding that they asked for, but then left behind. They didn't follow through. When I started investing, I had $10,000. I only invested $2,000. So you do the math. That's 20% of what I had. My net worth, 20% I invested immediately. That didn't mean that I took all that money and invested it right away. No. I started with maybe 200 of that, put it in this company, $50 of this, put it into that company. I started with a Robinhood account. And so I was able to look at the trends. I was able to see what accounts were going up and down, and that's called a brokerage. You can open one today as long as you're 18. There's nothing stopping you from learning a little bit about investing. There's nothing stopping you from putting $100 in an account and saying, I'm going to learn how to use this wisely. You see, I made some mistakes, and I'm going to tell you those mistakes so that you can avoid them right away. This video is going to be so life-changing for some people who actually stick through and watch to the end, because I'm going to give so many pointers, so many things that took me years to bypass right now with no fluff, no extra-ish. Is getting straight to it. And so the first thing that I want you to do and understand is that just because you're investing $100 or less doesn't mean that you need to buy a full share of a company. What do I mean by that? If a company costs $10, that does not mean you need to buy that company just because it costs $10. You might only have $100 to invest, but you can still buy the company that costs $1,000. I'm sure Google probably costs $800 to $1,000. I would rather prefer you buy Google than invest in Ford Motor Company. Like Ford Motors has had a $10 company for 20 plus years, for as long as I've ever known. I'm a dividend growth investor. I'm not going to invest in a company that does not grow in value. Now, I'm not telling you to invest in Google, but don't invest in Ford. Don't invest in AT&T. Don't invest into the companies that are absolutely rock bottom, the stuff that you do when you wake up in the morning, you know? Don't invest in those companies. Just because you got $100 doesn't mean you need to buy a full share of a company. Buy a good company. Buy a company that's growing in value. Buy a company that their 5-year is over 120%. Their 10-year is over 400% returns. And they also pay you a dividend so that you're getting money every quarter, every month, every year. That is a major key right there. I don't have to say no more, because when I talk about dividends, that's another problem. People start looking at what companies pay the highest dividend. I know people start Googling right away. Who pays the highest dividend? And guess what? The companies that pay the highest dividend, you know what their growth does? It goes like this. So AT&T, do they go up in value or do they go down? Yes, they pay like a 7%, 8% dividend. And so people love the company because they pay a lot of money. But if the company is going down in value, Are you actually making money? You're probably not. And so that's another thing that happens to a lot of people. They want to buy the companies that have the highest dividend, but they're actually losing money because it's not going up in value. When I buy a company, my average dividend is under 2%. Under 2%. That means I'm getting a whole lot more growth out of these companies than I'm actually getting dividends. Right? I get less than a 2% dividend. I would like to be at 2%. The highest I've ever been was probably like 2.04% average on 28 companies paying me a dividend. But I'm probably at like 1.70, 1.68%, and that's okay. Because I know that it's going up exponentially in value, and that's why they can pay a low dividend, is because the growth is so high. So do not fall in love with the highest dividend, and do not fall in love with owning one full share of a company. It's okay to have a fraction of a company as long as that company is paying you and is going up in value. So those are the two major keys. And get started early. Do not wait. The only thing that you need to knock out is your debt and actually have an emergency fund. Because here is key number 3. You never invest money that you need tomorrow. Never invest money that you need tomorrow. I stuck by that rule my entire life. So when someone told me, when I watched a YouTube channel and they said, you never invest money that you need, guess what? 10 years later, I've never pulled money out of my stock market account. I know people that will invest in the stock market. A month later, an emergency happens. They pull all that money out to pay for the emergency. They didn't have an emergency fund. Why are you investing? Why are you spending $2,000 and you don't got $2,000 in your savings account? Why? Now, granted, over time, you're going to have way more money in investments than you ever had in savings. And that's why it's so important to at least have 12 to 24 months of emergency savings. And 24 months is very excessive. I'll tell you that from experience. There's no one who can't find a job in 2 years. If you have been looking for a job for 2 years and have been unable to find one, hit me up in the comment section down below so I can start making content on how to find jobs, because it is very difficult to not find a job after 2 years if you're looking for one. Now, 6 months, I can understand. A year, I can understand. 2 years, that's a lot to not be able to find work. Okay? You might need to change states. You might need to look at different alternatives than the same little niche that you were in. But it is so hard to not be able to find a job after 2 years. So if you have a 24-month emergency fund, there is absolutely no way that you'll ever dig into your investments for anything else other than investments. Okay? And so if you are 25 and under, if you are 35 and under, and you have not started investing in your financial future, you have no 401k, you have no Roth IRA, you are not utilizing your company match in any way, shape, or form, you are doing yourself a disservice. You are literally killing your own financial future. Your future self will hate you. Your future self will look back at this video and they will say, you did not do enough. Change your life today. Change your life today so that you can be as financially free as not only I am, but even better than where I am today. Now, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe for the 3 nuggets that I just dropped for you today. Let me know which one you're going to take and start applying to your life in the comment section down below. You know I post on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace.